So the ratings over at ABC, a studio, by the way, that is run by the Walt Disney Company, that very studio that actually is responsible for airing shows like The View, the ratings disaster continues week by week. We all know that this all began back in September of this year, where the ABC ratings began to sharply decline. This is throwing, by the way, personalities or TV show hosts like Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, into a phase of panic. This is exactly why they have been desperately trying to expand their careers back to their comedic roots and or to their acting roots, and are really getting thrown out by multiple studios after creating a lot of unnecessary drama. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. Now, I think that we all have the same questions here, is that why is The View still on live television? Why does it even have an audience to this very day in 2024? Who knows? You're always going to have that niche audience that really has no idea what they're watching and has no touch with reality or the outside world. And Joy Behar, look, I mean, I think that we can all really safely say that she is by far the worst, one of the worst TV show hosts on live television, but focusing on what's been going on with a specific studio and how she recently lost millions of dollars more than previously actually reported and known, this is where matters get even worse when it comes to Behar's situation at HBO. Now, we all know that Joy Behar is desperately trying to go back to becoming a stand-up comedian, which is pathetic in my opinion. I mean, we all know that she's not funny at all. She never was funny as far as I saw things, decades ago, based on the old stand-up comedy videos that you guys may or may not have seen. You can go ahead and check it out. But what's interesting about this, with Joy Behar of The View already having a tough time accepting The View ratings disaster going on behind the scenes at ABC and the Walt Disney Company, this situation recently threw Behar into a phase of panic and attempting to expand her career with studios like HBO, already firing her and axing her projects. One major development going on now has more to do with the HBO situation and how it lost Behar millions of dollars more than previously thought. It turns out that after Behar was just fired by HBO for her comedy special called Bring Back the Joy, which was going to provide her an estimated $15 million. Crazy, I know. The shocking development here is that she had another project that was in the works at HBO that went sour, that was going to involve her as one of the main lead actresses in a show, that was going to essentially be a copy and paste of Curb Your Enthusiasm as far as format goes and style. Behar was going to be paid an estimated, get this, $8 million for this comedy series that has been in development at HBO now for several months after the final season of Curb came out and came to its end. This series was going to be essentially a parody on the life in Hollywood, where Behar was going to not just be one of the main leads, but the main lead character in mockumentary-style format. In a similar situation to what happened with her comedy special, Behar reportedly wanted to make offensive jokes on the program towards specific individuals, jokes that HBO even found to be way too overboard for their program. She also was demanding an increase from $8 million to $10 million as well, as, of course, more increased screen time for the pilot episode that was going to focus more on an ensemble cast to experiment with their audience first. Behar did not like the idea of an ensemble cast for the pilot episode of that and wanted the pilot episode to strictly focus on her character mainly. The HBO studio heads grew overwhelmingly frustrated with all of these demands bundled together and decided to axe this project altogether and to start from scratch, as they are looking for a Curb Your Enthusiasm inspired show that would basically serve as a spiritual successor of the series that will now no longer star Joy Behar at all. Now, this is yet another similar scenario to what happened with Whoopi Goldberg at DreamWorks when she got fired at that studio from Shrek 5 and the Donkey spin-off film for making outlandish demands to the executives. Now, guys, let me just stop here before I move on. Now, we already know that Joy Behar is an overly demanding person, a self-absorbed individual. We all know what's been going on behind the scenes over at ABC. Her promotion basically fell apart. Her pay increase fell apart as Bob Iger, the Disney CEO, is doubling down on his cost containment plan, his cost-cutting measures. And this is going to include other aspects like dialing back on stardom power in their feature films and or television programs, and focusing more on newcomers to pay them less money. That's also a part of their cost-cutting measures. But what's interesting about this has a lot more to do with Joy Behar's situation at HBO. So not only was she given the boot from Bring Back the Joy comedy special, but she was also given the boot and got fired from this new HBO series. Like I said before, it's supposed to be this spiritual successor of Curb Your Enthusiasm. Now that Curb Your Enthusiasm is all done, it's not coming back. There's not going to be a 13th season. I believe it ended at 12, correct me if I'm wrong. But Curb Your Enthusiasm is all finished, it's no more, and they're trying to make basically a recreation of that, spiritually speaking. And Joy Behar was going to be the main lead in that show. What was HBO thinking? I have no idea. You would have to be a crazy person to actually hire somebody like that to be the main lead actress in a show that you're trying to make it into a comedy based on the format of Curb Your Enthusiasm, but I digress. So, on top of this, already Behar is reportedly in a furious state since she is finding it to be very difficult to expand her career back to her comedy and acting roots from the early days, as she goes through her 80s as The View ratings continue to sharply decline at ABC. In addition to all of this, that makes it worse for Joy Behar is that the HBO studio executives fired her from this project, also because she was creating unnecessary drama based on the screen time that other actresses were getting, that they were getting for their characters, and believed that they were sucking up the limelight for her for this new mystery project that is codenamed Vertical. So, this project that is supposed to be a spiritual successor to Curb Your Enthusiasm, it's codenamed Vertical. We don't really know what that means. It could mean varying different things as to why it's codenamed that. It's just a codename, it means nothing really. But what's interesting about this is that it really seems like, slowly but surely, a lot of studios are beginning to realize that people like Joy Behar, people like Whoopi Goldberg are very damaging to their image, very damaging to their brands and their properties and projects. And it really just goes to show you that you're seeing this slow turn of the tide. It's a very slow turn, alright? It may take several years for it to fully kind of roll over, but I think eventually, and hopefully, you're going to see Hollywood improve over time. What I would like to see more so is an alternative to Hollywood, where you have more independent creators. I think that would be more satisfactory, if you will. But we'll have to wait and see what happens over the next couple of years. I think HBO made the right decision. Do I agree with all of HBO's decisions that they have made over the past couple of years? Absolutely not. Especially after what they did with the Velma series, Season 1 and Season 2. Pure garbage, did not deserve to be put on HBO Max, did not even deserve to be made to begin with. But, you know, moving on from all of that, I think that Joy Behar really is going into that desperate mode after the View's ratings are really just not performing well at all, and people are beginning to wake up and check out. So overall, I would like to hear what everyone has to say about the Behar situation at HBO below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.